Hello, hello, hello. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
It
Happy
is
Monday.
Monday.
Cheers to Monday.
Cheers. Cheers. What do you
Tomorrow's
got in
Friday,
your
right?
cups?
Tomorrow's Friday. The weekend's right here.
We've got matching tumblers.
Yeah, we do. Ta-da.
Where'd you get it? Where'd you get yours?
I got it at this amazing conference. It's called SEO Spring Training. They just rebranded. So it's SEOST DMC Digital Marketing Conference. It is amazing. I think you and I hung out at a couple of them, didn't we?
Yep.
How do I get
Awesome.
involved in that? Sounds great.
I think you should come, Marty.
Yeah, I think everybody's invited for sure. So,
Yep.
all right. Well, welcome to another edition of our Tech Talk with T&E. Thank you for joining us. Submit your questions about spring training or whatever else that you want to talk about. Today, we're just love to have joined by Mr. Marty Marion, and then Mark Rabb. I don't even try his last name. And then we get into Mr. Clint. So welcome, gentlemen. Thank you for joining us.
Careful who you call a gentleman here, Terry.
That's true. That's true. Well, that's my military background. I got to be polite all the time. So every time I say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, people look at me funny. I guess that's not a normal thing anymore. So, all right. Hey, Elizabeth, let's start off with talking about our sponsors before we get going.
Absolutely. I have a really nifty banner to highlight our sponsors. High level, again, this is the third year in a row that they have sponsored our event, and they always come with lots of knowledge and wonderful swag. We have a special guest, Chase Buckner, is coming this year, and we're excited to have him present. I told him on stage I want all of the secrets. Don't hold anything back. So he said that he will come prepared. Another long-term sponsor, Lead Snap. This is his third year, Patrick Shannon. I know you use that software on a daily basis. Love it.
Yeah.
So it's pretty awesome. We're excited to have them back. 38 Digital, press release, best friend Randy. Again, third year. Like, you guys must love us if you're coming back year after year. I know you use his services all the time. SEO Neo and Omega. Elias is coming back in person. He was here in 2023. So we're pretty excited to have him back and all of his knowledge and skills for all of his linking strategies. JetHost is a new sponsor this year, and we actually met with the owners of the company. We're pretty excited. As you guys know, I'm in hosting all the time, unfortunately. And so I always look at all of the things, all of the details, ins and outs. And we had a really, really great meeting. We really liked the personal integrity and of the owners, and we're really looking forward to a strong partnership. And they sent over some swag, so everybody's going to get some really fun stuff. Yay! Salterra, long-time sponsor. Salterra's been there since the beginning. I wonder why. They're kind of tied in, so they're not going anywhere. Local Dominator. Eldar's coming back over again. Yay. He has also sponsored 3 or 4 years, and so we're pretty excited to have him, but no Rocky. So we'll be okay. I mean, it'll be tough, but give love to the dog. Agency Fast Track, Lisa P is a long-term friend of ours. Gosh, we've known her like over 10 years. Agency Fast Track is sponsoring as well. We also have sponsored her event when she does her digital. So it's always been a really good partnership. SEO University. I'm wearing the t-shirt. Yay! Gotta promote SEO University. All the things, which obviously pretty interconnected. And I know, like, not to give too big of a spoiler alert, I know you've got some things in the work for SEO University. You already have your schema course there live now, so people can go ahead and purchase that. But I know you're doing a lot of things in the behind the scenes to upgrade, update, change things around so that we are giving more. I know Marty's talked about putting some courses up there. I think we're going to try to hit up Clint to see if he can get some courses up there, because we really want it to be a really comprehensive offering for everybody. Zagio, once again, Herc is coming down. He came down last year and just like blew the doors off of everybody's mind because He actually built a site and ranked it within 2 days in the event during the conference. So in his breakout room, it was pretty awesome. Pocket Marketer, they are new this year. That is Chris Moore's company. And as you know, Chris Moore was the MC last year and he rocked it out of the park. It was awesome. And that is his company that we were promoting. And there's this little teeny tiny company called Digital Ear. You know, you may not have heard of them, but that's Clint's company.
These guys are losers.
Dude, I gotta give you shit. Come on. Yeah.
Clint has also been there since the beginning too. So
Clint and Marty have definitely been there since the beginning, the very first conference. Yeah. So we definitely have a pretty good relationship with Digital Ear and all of the things fun and exciting for the conference. Yay.
Actually, it was the very first spring training in 2019 where I first met Clint.
mm-hmm.
Yep. Terry surprised us with you, and I was like, "Who the hell is that dude?" The whole conference, all I was thinking about was Marty's talk.
Yeah, this year, this year is going to be fun. I'm kind of taking the gloves off this year, and I'm going to actually do a little bit of a case study, but live with the audience participation, where I'm going to take one of the most famous brands in the world and demonstrate how it can kick the daylights out of the category leader brand and how everybody can apply that exact same methodology to their business, their agency, their customers. This is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's going to be a blast. So, and plus Marty and I are planning to show something at the Tech Mastermind Day that obviously will not be recorded. That I think is going to blow the whole freaking room away. So, some cool things coming. If you don't do anything at all with this event and you want to just fly in for Tech Day, call Elizabeth and try to work something out, because that's how important this day is going to be. And it is the first year we're doing a whole day. Usually we have the Tech Mastermind in the afternoon, but this one's a whole day, and it's just going to be crazy good. So my little plug for Tech Day. Well, welcome, Marty. All right, Mark, what are you going to do, man? We haven't had you on here before, so what are you thinking about doing at spring training? You've got your little pause and all kinds of good stuff.
Yeah. So, I mean, from previous times and from all the years that we've known each other, you guys know that I do a lot of equity plays when it comes to SEO. But this time, with all the stuff happening with AI, we could talk about equity plays, which is obviously, my expertise. But I've also been working on the past few months on an app of my own that I think could be pretty interesting. Maybe we could have that on Tech Day. Mm-hmm. I'll give you some more details on that as well. I'm not gonna spill all the beans right now, but I think I've used it for my own stuff to manage so far, I'd say well over 100 different projects. And what used to take us, I'd say, weeks for a full-time crew of VAs to do with a lot of mistakes is now something that could be done with one VA, probably in the course of a couple of hours, and a much higher quality as well. So yeah, I think it's going to be something that would be very beneficial, especially for anyone doing in the local SEO verticals like I am.
Yeah, for sure. The AI is just freaking excited me again for this industry.
Yeah, man, it's so interesting. I mean, I now have more developers than I do have like actual SEO like VAs, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, totally. And I just put this in one of my groups. I spent, well, now it's up to like 13 hours. I think I'm 13 hours in, and I build it in Claude, and then I take it to Replit to actually fulfill it. Is the way I found the best one, and I've tried a lot of them. But anyway, so I'm 13 hours in, and it's cost about $1,100 as far as total cost, and I just sold it for 20,000. So
Very nice.
and it's a whole CRM system for one of my clients, and and you ask questions, ask your clients questions. You'd be amazed at how many people still work off of spreadsheets. They still work off of old school stuff, and you can come in, with a little bit of creativity and a little bit of time, and we're going to teach you this stuff, to be able to turn around and say, hey, I have a product for you that will help you with all these issues. So, and you become no longer the SEO guy. Now you've built them something that's going to help them improve efficiencies and, all the different stuff these things do, and now you become an asset. You're not just a monthly liability, so to speak. So
yeah, you're a solutions guy. You bring solutions. I've got a couple of clients of my own that we've taken on some pretty nice development projects.
Mm-hmm.
It's so much fun because I think we have all the different traits that you need, and it's kind of like the missing piece of the puzzle is here.
Mm-hmm.
We're now able to do things that before, we had this obstacle when it came to actual development, but understanding how to scope things out, I think we do that perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
So we're able to bring on some very interesting projects that up until a short while ago were not even an option.
100%. I know a big SEO company that's not an SEO company anymore. They're just like you said, they're software developers. They've gone a different direction now, which is the exciting part of the options that we have nowadays. So I'm looking forward to what you bring in, because it's right up my alley also. So I think we all need to start this little group of ours of, kind of showing what each other is doing. But that's really, really cool. So,
yeah, and I just want to add that there's also this misconception, I think, among a bunch of people in terms of what vibe coding is.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people think now that because vibe coding is accessible, then anyone can develop anything. In theory, yes. Will it actually work? Would it actually not break after 5 users or put to the test?
Mm-hmm.
That's where the real challenge is, and it still does require skills. It still requires understanding of how things work. And vibe coding is very exciting and it's very fun, especially when you actually get to immediately see a front end, and you're like, wow, I already have a dashboard. How amazing is that?
Mm-hmm.
But when you actually want to see everything working seamlessly without any bugs, that is a much, much bigger challenge. And I know it now because I've been doing a few projects myself. Way more difficult than you would expect it to be.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. I mean, you really got to watch a whole bunch of things. And I've seen people already making huge mistakes or made huge mistakes. And, I'm kind of advantaged because I come from a developer background anyways. So, I start these things off by, with security in mind right out of the freaking gate, especially around your APIs and your limits and all the different things you need to have in place before you could let this thing go. And then next thing you know, next morning, you got a $3,000 API bill that you didn't even plan on. So, it is as simple as it is, but just like Mark said, you have to be careful, especially if you're doing something that involves any other type of external connections. So, I know somebody that built this thing for recipes. I thought that's great until I looked and see how they were scraping to get the recipes. So, I was like, well, that's going to cost you a lot of freaking money if you continue to do it that way. So, but no, welcome. It's awesome to have you back. That's for sure. So, Clint, what are you looking forward to about coming back?
Probably most importantly out of everything is just the engagement with people. Seeing old friends. It's that time. Got to get out of the house, mean, I already got the dogs their hotel, $1,000 for them.
Jeez.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You need to open up a hotel in Yuma for dogs.
Don't think I haven't thought about that. But yeah, it's just getting back with people and getting reinvigorated about, everything that we do. Kind of scatterbrained at the moment. Client list is real low right now. So, just, get back into it. And the best way I've found for me to do that is to get with people that are excited about stuff and learn or get ideas from visionaries, because I'm an implementer. I'm really not a visionary. So you guys are talking about all the cool, exciting things. I'm like, so what? How can it help me check? I want to do this. I do exact little things with AI where you guys are thinking of these big ass, the strategic vision, and I'm more of a tactical guy, I guess is the easiest way to put it. So it's getting around people that are visionaries and can, seed ideas, not necessarily steal ideas, but to seed ideas is going to be awesome.
That's good to be. Yeah, that's awesome. Just like you said, I mean, that's what, I mean, you and I used to go to a lot of events every single year. And I think I went to 2 events last year, but like 3 or 4 years ago, I went to like, 10. So, but it is nice to be around people again. And, it does reinvigorate and gives you just whole different ideas. And that's the big thing I love about them. The digital things are great too, but the live events is when the really cool stuff happens. And, this year, especially, I've had so many people tell me that, they actually formed partnerships from meeting at spring training, so they've actually gone on and do other business ventures with people they met there. So it's not just a network type of thing. It can, it can really change your life in some aspects of the whole thing too. So that's awesome. So, Elizabeth, what kind of questions do you have? What kind of details? Anything updating for VIP event or tech day or anything like that?
We have a lot of stuff in the works. I don't know. Do you want me to just like share the actual schedule or what I've got going?
Yeah, no, you can do that for sure.
All right. So, Wednesday, you have a few people that are doing the golf, and that is an entirely separate thing. If anyone is interested in golf, hit Terry up. I don't even care. Don't want to know about it. It's not my thing. So you guys go play, shit talk, drink, do whatever you're going to do. I don't care. And then once you guys get back in the afternoon, I have game show battle rooms. I thought that would be fun. Last year was pretty physical with Arena 23 where people were playing sports. This one, I'm really going to tax you mentally. So we're going to play some game shows. It's going to be fun. It's going to be interactive. We'll group up in teams. We'll have a great time. And then after that, we're going to do a Brazilian steakhouse, all you can eat steak. If you don't like steak, don't freak out and yell at me. They do have an amazing salad bar, and they have options for every diet, program, lifestyle, whatever you want to call it. So I think that's going to be a really great time. So we're all going to hang out, break bread together or break meat together if you don't eat bread.
And this is on Wednesday, Elizabeth?
That's just Wednesday alone. Like,
nice.
So yeah, that's Wednesday. Thursday, Tech Mastermind, where you guys are gonna, break it, hack it, tear it apart. What can you do? What can you not do? That's gonna be in the morning about 8:30 or 9. I'm not like super solid on times. I will before the event get like strategic. In the main ballroom, the Tech Mastermind is gonna go on for 5-6 hours or so. You guys are going to have plenty of time to really dig in deep. What can you do? What can you create? How does this work? How can I implement this for myself? That kind of thing. And then in the afternoon, right there in the ballroom, we're going to get together probably about 8 tables, and we're going to do cash flow games. I think that it's a really great opportunity for us to kind of really reframe our mindset with money. How do we think about money? How do we think about applying it in our real everyday life? And I think the cash flow game is going to be a really fun opportunity to kind of do that. The game section lasts probably about 3 hours or so. It's not mandatory. You don't have to come, but it's going to be a lot of fun. And then the welcome reception is 6, and it is down in the main courtyard, just like we did last year, right next to the patio. So there's plenty of seating. It's shaded. It's not going to be too hot. So the welcome reception is all levels, all speakers, everybody come say hi, meet people, hang out, cash bar, because like I can't afford some of you guys in your drinking bill. So
Oh, come on.
you especially. Oh my God. Okay. So welcome reception Thursday night, and that's going to kick off the event. Friday all day, Saturday all day, Sunday half day, and it'll be the same structure that we did last year. So we'll have morning main stage, and then afternoon breakout rooms, morning main stage, afternoon breakout rooms. And then Sunday is just morning main stage. We'll probably end about 12 or 1 or so, and then take a break. And then VIPs and speakers come back to our house for Samuel's family dinner. So
Wow.
Yeah.
come hang out.
Elizabeth, when are you planning to actually list the specific slots and speakers over the couple of days?
I'm planning on deferring that to Terry because that is his job. I manage everything else, and he corrals the speakers, which is
Yeah, actually, yeah. The ones that I have topics for, I'm going to load up now. I told everybody I'd give them until about the 20th to get their topics finalized, especially how fast things are moving. But yeah, I'm gonna start loading those up on the website now. This year we also have an app, and everything will be loaded in the app also. And the app will be just like it sounds. It'll be able to choose your own adventure, so you can choose who you want to see in which breakout rooms and where they're located and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, so it's really going to help people also network together, because you can schedule meetups, you can schedule dinners, you can reserve reservations, you can do all this stuff right from the app. So it's really going to make it, can't really see anything about it. So
can you see? It looks really light. I don't know. Hold
Yeah.
on. Let me do it on dark mode because Terry loves dark
there
mode.
you go. There's the dark mode. So, but yeah, so it's really cool. It's going to be a new functionality of this year, and we've been wanting to do it every year, build our own app or have an app, but they were very just expensive, especially for something that you don't use all the time. But guess what? Vibe coding changed that. So we built our own stuff. So,
Nice.
but this thing's pretty robust. So you also have the app. But yes, good question, Marty. I'll start putting those things up there this week, especially for the ones I do have topics for that I know aren't going to change.
Cool. Thank you.
So
Awesome.
yeah, I mean the schedule is just incredible as far as the breakout rooms. So we do have the virtual passes this year, and I'll be honest with you guys, they're running out because of our bandwidth, internet bandwidth challenges. So we've got backups and everything else. It's just we're not able to have thousands of people on a live stream. Anyway, so the live stream is going to cover the morning stages, all 2.5 days, and it's going to cover the automation room, the automation breakout room the first day in the afternoon, and then the second day it'll cover the AI room the second day. So the live feed or the virtual passes get you all 3 of the main stage rooms or main stages, and then 2 of the 4 breakout rooms. The only breakout rooms not going to be live streamed will be the growth room and then the search room or the optimization room. So, but we chose to do the automation and AI because those were the most popular last year. So we are assuming they'll be the most popular, obviously, this year. So, and for $495, you cannot beat it. I mean, just the stuff that you're going to get from just a couple of these speakers, is going to be worth that and then some. So, yeah, let's get your live stream if you can't make it to Chandler. If you are coming to Chandler and you haven't got your hotel room yet, you better get the block quick because they're extending it and we don't know when it's going to end. So they're not very communicative with us. So one day it'll be there, the next day it won't. So if you haven't got your room, click the room block. It's going to save you some money. So. righty. So what else, Miss Elizabeth, that you got looking forward to?
I'm just looking forward to seeing you guys. I want big hugs all around. I've got some help this year, staying on top of everything. I have my own little miniature executive assistant, Miss Lindsay. So you may see her running around helping me. She's been awesome to help keep me on track. I have some swag that's a little bit late, but it should be here before the event. Let's see what else. I have that special Yeti that everybody's coveting for the VIP and the speakers. Y'all are going to get some fun stuff.
Yeah, she ordered the Yetis like 2 months ago.
Hey, I don't want to take a chance of that not coming in on time. I don't have anything else. I'm going through my list. I'm trying to figure all the stuff out. I still have a couple more signs to do. I have a potential sponsor that might be sliding into home plate right at the end. And so I want to make sure I get them on the banner so that I can highlight them. So I can't say who it is now, so we'll see. Fun stuff. I know, Randy said he loves the swag. He sure does. I think Randy's got some packages coming my way too. So you guys be on the lookout of what kind of fun stuff 38 Digital is going to throw into the mix. What else? I don't know. You guys got anything else?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just the whole thing about the. I've had people ask me different questions. I did have somebody. That's why I mentioned it before. That if they could come in just for the tech day, yes, you can. You just need to get with Elizabeth because we don't have those prices out there in the world. We've actually never thought about that before, so it's a pretty interesting thought. But yeah, I mean, the whole idea is that we just want to make sure that we're providing all the value. And one of my big things I would tell people all the time, this is our 7th year, if you come here with a challenge, I'll help you figure out who to help you with that challenge. That's a guarantee. If you come here and you just sit in your hotel room and don't get out and network, I hate to say it, but that's your fault. I'm an introvert. A lot of us are introverts. But when you get around other people that are doing other things that can help you and you can help them, it just makes sense to share and hang out and become friends. So, and again, these live events are specifically just for networking. We have great people on stage. We have great people that are presenting, but when Elizabeth and I plan these things, the first thing we make sure is that the destination, the hotel or the venue is set up for networking, so, and that's because it's a big part of what our conference has always been known for. So like having a conference in Vegas, it gets a little bit hard for everybody to network because everybody's kind of spread out all over the place. So we try to make sure that we're a little bit different here at Spring Training. So.
Well, and we love the way the hotel is set up. So where it is in downtown Chandler, which is like the older part of town, but the hotel has been renovated, so it's nice. It's like €100 hotel. But right within a 2-block walking radius is about 35 bars and restaurants. So even if you don't want to stay at the hotel or like be at the hotel, like you can go have dinner other places, that kind of thing. So it's all right there. You don't have to Uber out, and it's really centrally located. Lots of great restaurants. There's a cute little coffee place. There's breakfast places, all of that. But the actual hotel itself, their patio in the front where their the seating arrangement, the seating inside the lobby, there's tons of places to sit, connect. I know there was one night last year I went down at like 2 a.m. and there's probably 25 people still in the lobby going over stuff and talking about different things that they were doing with their business. And so the networking is just all the time nonstop, and that's the value of it. Like, yes, the stage is great, but when you can sit down and like break apart a problem, pick Clint's brain of like, okay, so how do you actually implement? Like, I've got these great ideas. How do I make it work? And he can walk you through it.
I can say that last time I was speaking at Spring Training about the equity play, one of the folks that were there really took it to the next level. I think Terry knows who I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, they completely took the playbook, implemented, which is a big part of it too, right? Like people will show up, they'll, listen to all this interesting stuff. There's a lot of, information to absorb, but very important to also take action and implement. And that's exactly what this guy did. And I know that he's been quite successful at it.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, it's one of the stories. I don't mention any names or whatever, but that's like one of the stories that, if you see something that really affects you, that really hits you, kind of like Clint mentioned when he first met Marty, those are the type of breakthroughs that, people will read. This gentleman completely redid his whole business. He completely redid his whole business model, everything. It was crazy good. And that's the thing that you get when you come to these type of events, is that something will trigger, something will click, and something will go, damn, I never thought about it that way. Or, that's the kind of thing that we look forward to when it happens. So good. Yep. Great story. It's one of my favorites. So,
Well,
he was doing even more than you were, I think.
He really, he really took that angle and dominated it, because he also had a pretty good, solid foundation to start from. Anyway, yeah, I consulted him a couple of times after that whole event, and kind of pointed him in the right direction. And it's just I keep on seeing stuff that he's posting, and I'm like, wow, you really did do it like all the way. Very, very happy about that.
Yeah. Well, sure. One of the things is with the app, the people that are doing the live stream, they're going to get access to the attendees as well. I mean, it may be limited access. You're not going to get like all the things, but you're going to still be able to connect with people, even though you're doing it virtually. So don't feel like you're going to miss out on all the networking opportunities, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Sure. But that's a really cool thing, is that, Marty and I have talked about his stuff. There's nothing that makes Marty more prouder than somebody that takes the stuff and implements it. I mean, that's the whole reason why we teach this stuff. And it's, when you hear stories about what you did and how you implemented it and the successes that you had from it, it kind of makes us even go harder and faster.
And the mistakes. Mistakes are just as important.
Yeah, 100%. So
yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. Well, do you have anything to share, Terry?
I think the biggest thing that Daywood's joined us. Daywood is going to be also a speaker this year. So
I don't know if that's the same one, right?
Is it the same one?
No, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, okay. Maybe it's not. So anyways, we do have a Daywood that's speaking this year. But I think the biggest thing that I'm looking forward to is, again, seeing how people interact now with the new AI and automation and all this stuff that's exciting now. I mean, if you're coming to spring training to learn how to do keyword research, yeah, we'll show you how to do keyword research. But, we're really coming to show you guys what's happening in 2026. So we hope a lot of people come that maybe are just not sure which way to go. They're still doing SEO and still doing the same thing they were doing a year ago. And they're, because it's coming at us like a fire hose. And I tell people all the time, when all these chats and plods and perplexities and all these things came at us at once, I chose to just do one platform and master it the best I could. And so, since then I've changed to Claude, but that was the whole thing. And I didn't want a lily pad jump. I didn't want to go from one tool to another tool to another tool. And next thing you know, I've got a monthly bill of like $1,500, right. So, and that's the type of stuff that you're going to be able to come and talk to people like, Andrew Ansley, that's doing some freaking crazy stuff, Robbie Ribb, doing some crazy stuff. So, these people will answer your questions. The big thing about where do you host these things? That's the best place to do it. That's affordable and secure. And, there are all these different questions that people are having with this whole transition that we're all going through right now. But And that's the big thing. I have people that are telling me that, Solterra, I tell them all the time, the last half of last year, it was the worst 6 months that we've ever had in business. I don't know what happened. I don't know what fluke we did, but the whole thing is those 6 months when we looked back and we were like, holy shit, and it was just a bunch of different stuff. One client sold, another client just decided to shut his door. I mean, really weird stuff going on as far as the last year. And so this year we did have to pivot, and we started pivoting right when my mom passed away in New Year's Eve. But as soon as we got through those few weeks of that stuff, then we started pivoting, and I had questions. And so luckily in my network, I could find out who to ask and where to go to, all this other stuff, so, and that's the great thing about this type of an event. You meet people like that. They can help you. They can answer your questions. They can direct you in the right place. I can't wait to pick Andrew's brain, because he's doing some stuff that's just like so next level that I don't even know if I'll go down that rabbit hole, because it probably would be a rabbit hole for me, because that's kind of what I do. But I got some questions. I've already started my list of Andrew questions. So, but looking forward to it. What about you, Clint? Oh, go ahead.
Hold on. David has a question.
Okay.
Do you think SEO is worth it? Like,
100%, because here's the big thing people don't realize. If you don't do SEO, you're never going to show up in the AI overviews. It's kind of hand in hand. Do I think you should be selling SEO as a single product nowadays? No. I think you need to go broader and, talk about other stuff. But yeah, I think search optimization is going to be always important, at least for the very near future. Especially if you're the old school guy and says, hey, I can do all this stuff for $4.95 a month, and well, if that's all you do, then I think you're going to have a hard time selling. So
I'd like to add something to that. I think what we've seen over the last couple of years is a very, very strong movement to consumer searcher behavior on every level. And traditionally, the 4 traditional types of intent, commercial, transactional, navigational, informational, that's cost of entry now. I don't think that the concept of SEO holds any longer. I think what we're doing now is we're not optimizing for algorithms, we're optimizing for user behavior. And, the traditional, foundational, the on-page technical stuff, the links, the silo structures, entity, all of that classic SEO work is now just the cost of entry. If you don't do it, you're screwed. And if you do it, it's still not enough.
Yep. 100%.
My perspective.
Yep. What do you think, Clint?
I get to be the guy that disagrees.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why we love you, Clint.
So, search engine optimization. The problem is that everyone got into this market as a service provider. What was our number one focus? Get these clients into Google, ranking in Google. What a lot of people lost sight of is that people are using other platforms now, have been for quite some time, to actually do search. The new younger generation, where they're looking at Reels and Facebook videos, YouTube videos, Shorts, TikTok, Pinterest,
Facebook groups,
different places. So the search engines optimization, if you're doing it right, we'll touch on all of those. So how do you do it right? Marty already hit on this: branded, technical, all that stuff. Like if you don't have a well-known brand, AI is not generally going to pick up on you. They're going to find your site and you're going to see that, oh, no one's linking to you, so you have no authority. You have no brand recognition, so ergo, you're probably not that important. We're just going to keep you out. Unless you're going for long tail keywords. We've heard that before. You know, a lot of people are touching and hitting on these FAQs and PAAs and all that kind of stuff. Again, because that informational stuff that Marty references, that's what people are using AI to search for. They're doing their research in these AI tools and videos and all that stuff. So search engine optimization isn't going anywhere. It's just your focus can no longer be on one search engine. It's got to be on multiple search engines.
100%.
And so I think it's kind of, I don't know, I would say more, I won't say misleading, but SEO isn't dead. It's not going anywhere. You just have to now think about it in much broader spectrum. So if you're one of those folks that do, like, you know, write a blog post and turn it into a video, make it a podcast, and make a whole bunch of shorts out of all of those things, that's the SEO nowadays. If you're not doing that, it's not going to work. And if you're a local business and you're trying to get your brand out there, you got to write informational stuff. A lot of business owners don't like doing it. I want to write this blog post and cry about it. I mean, that argument today with a guy, you know, he's like, I'm like, give me pictures. He never gave me pictures, so I used AI to make stuff. And he's like, oh, you're using stock photos. I don't want those on my website. Dude, either you feed the beast or someone else is going to. So that's just the nature of what we're doing here. So I think it's, you know, you got to find that balance as business owners to, you know, how you want to represent and then what's really important to you. And for most business owners, I would think Mark probably can speak this better because he's part business owner, part marketing agency, is leads and sales. And you can't get leads and sales if you don't have rankings in all of these search engines, and you can't get rankings. You can't get traffic without the rankings, and you can't get lead without the traffic, and you can't get sales without the leads. So all that stuff all combines.
Yep.
100%. Hey, here's a good question for Mark. Did geotagging helps after the Google Discovery update?
You know, I don't know the answer to that, but I would say it's so easy to implement. Why just not do it anyway? But, you know, in regards to this conversation that you just had about SEO and all that stuff, I kind of agree with both of you, with both Marty and Clint, to a degree, where I think for what Marty was saying before about behavioral stuff, I think the algorithm changed. So it's not that we're not still trying to work the algorithm. The algorithm is now just sophisticated enough to also look at multiple different sources, something that it hasn't really done previously in the same way. I mean, if we look back, I think it's 2 years since all the business profile listings on Google allowed you to just link to all your social accounts. That was a relatively new and quiet feature, but it had a very clear message to us that Google is interested in all of that. And, you know, Merlino is probably going to be talking again about the whole brand. And I'm not going to spill the beans entirely, but the app that I'm working on is about that. It is about being able to increase your brand visibility in order to, you know, deal with challenges where you have a client that doesn't want to provide pictures or has complaints about, you know, the quality of the content and all that stuff. So that's part of what basically I'm going to be talking about with my app. And I think this is what's going to make the difference. So yes, you do need all the basics, technical, on page, very important. Not to mention that nowadays you could do it at a level that was so difficult to do previously. Now you could do it, you know, with flying colors all across the board. And then you add on top of that layer of branding across all the different channels. And that is, to me, that is like the winning formula for 2026.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I think the way content's being created also needs to change. You know, so I've spent a lot of time on our content side of things at Solterra, and you just have to pay attention on what's being pulled from where, what it's liking, what it's not liking, and just doing a 1,000-word article with H1, H2s, H3s. Kind of need to do a little bit more nowadays. So.
You do. Also, the other thing is it really does depend what the business is.
Yep.
The behavior changes from one business to another. In the home services businesses, which is where I'm mostly focused, I could tell you there's a huge difference in behavior between the customers that are looking for a home remodeling contractor versus a roofer or a plumber. It's a very different decision cycle that they have. And, for a plumber, they might actually call immediately the first person that they see on a Google search. For a home remodeler, probably not. They're not going to close a $100,000 project just because you're the first dude to show up on Google. It's going to help, but it's not going to be enough.
Yeah, I agree. 100%. All right, Randy, what's the stick client? Monte Cristo. Probably Clint's cigar. Let me see here. All right, so Dave would ask again. I have a lot of discussion with my friend about self-branding. He says that rank on keyword, you rank on keyword, then people search and recognize you instead of direct self-video or self-branding. What do you say about that? That's a Marty question.
Wow. Can you put the question back up, Terry?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah.
That's okay. Self-branding is a phrase that can mean a number of different things. If you're talking about building your own name as a quote unquote keyword for recognition, that's one thing. If you're talking about your subject matter expertise becoming the entity that leads to you, that's a completely different way to do it. Your friend says rank on keywords. When you rank on keywords, then people search and recognize you instead of a direct sell video. I think that people don't search for people unless they're famous. I think people search for topics, people search for answers, people search for information, people search for guidance, people search for, a direction in their life to make a purchase choice. People search for help. But unless you're looking to find information about a celebrity, right? Where is Taylor Swift going to play next, right? I don't think building a personal brand as the anchor is the right way to go. Unless you already have some strong chops behind you and are reasonably well known in your field for a particular level of expertise. And then you do a hybrid.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say too, is if you're known in your field, that would be another trigger that maybe you can do I agree 100%. I started building my personal brand about 3 years ago, right before COVID, not realizing that my name is actually a professional football player that's in the Football Hall of Fame and everything else. So it's like, okay, well, but I did want to do it for the search space, the SEO space or whatever. So I did my personal brand for that because I do get a lot of speaking engagements and stuff like that. But I do believe that's one thing if you're known in your industry, like Marty's known in his industries, that makes sense to go after his personal brand and his main brand and make sure they're kind of connected together, not separate. So like Terry Samuels doesn't go separate from Solterra. So, it's kind of hand in hand.
Yep. Would you add that to schema, Terry?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's funny too because the Terry Samuels football player, a lot of my images and videos are showing up in his profile.
And they look nothing alike.
I did the whole self-branding too. And there's a lot of folks out there that are like professors and like doctors in, I don't know, like brain surgeons and stuff like that with my name. So I had to kind of like filter out and eventually outrank them just from my own name. That's been a challenge. So now though, if anyone searches for me, if they spell it correctly, which I know most of you have a hard time, then I will actually show up in the first results.
It's
Mark,
that
I feel you. Mark, I feel your pain. I was named after a very, 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 very famous baseball player. And you can search my name till the cows come home, and you get all about him.
That's tough.
The first breakthrough, I want to give credit here where it's due. The first breakthrough in that was something Terry did for me back in 2020 on an old version of my website. He created some very initial schema, advanced schema. He did it manually. It was just hundreds and hundreds of lines of code. I'd never seen anything like that. And within a couple of weeks, I had featured snippet for over 100 of my most important keywords. And the light bulb went off that my name alone isn't enough, but my name associated with a whole portfolio of topics and levels of expertise gets me where I want to go. Because frankly, if people just search for my name, they're probably not a buyer of my services.
Yeah.
Right? So I would rather show up when people search for what my expertise is, positioning, depositioning, customer acquisition, that stuff. I'd rather show up there.
Yep.
I think, if I just actually, while you were saying that, I was searching for like my name along with, you know, a service that I offer or something, and then that's like hands down, that's a win. I definitely show up for that. But yeah, you being named after a baseball player and Terry here competing with someone else with their name, I think maybe we should also have a whole session about child naming optimization. You know, you got to think ahead here.
Yeah. I was just reading this article. This lady it was pretty freaking creative. She was looking for the name of her baby, a name for her baby, and she pretty much put her family history into, I don't remember what platform she used. And it came out with this, like the perfect 3 names for her baby. And I was just like, oh, that's cool. Better than asking Facebook.
Should be Terry Samuels near me.
For sure, 100%.
Exactly.
Yep.
So David was asking if there was like more information about these live sessions. Very productive. Well, you can definitely like, share, subscribe, and follow on our YouTube channel, because we do pop these videos up there. And we also, anytime you guys want to reach out, Terry's always available. Terry pretty much answers most anything that you guys could throw out there through LinkedIn, Facebook, our websites. But for SEOspringtraining.com is the website for the conference. If you want to get more information, you can definitely hit us up, because these guys are happy to share all of the things.
Yep, 100%. So, all right, any last minute things, gentlemen and lady? Anything? Anybody? Anything? Going
I
once?
totally talked enough. I talked about the conference a lot. You guys have been great with sharing. I definitely appreciate you guys being so forthcoming with all of your knowledge, because the collective knowledge just in this podcast is like insane. You're smart people.
Oh, thank you.
100%.
Blush.
Marty, tell everyone about your book.
My book. Okay.
Ta-da!
I published a book. It's 350 pages. It is the sum total of my 40 years at the big Madison Avenue ad agencies and consulting to billion-dollar global brands. And what it does is it exposes a technique that I created decades ago and kind of kept secret just for my own clients, about how do you take customers away from your competitors, because there are no new people entering the majority of categories. Whatever you're selling, all of your targets are currently doing something to solve that need. They're using somebody, a brand, a service, a company, a product. And if you want to get more customers, more clients, you need to take them away from some competitor who has them today. Period. But if they have no reason to leave, they're not available to be acquired. So you need to give them reasons to change their mind about what they believe about the brands and products and services they're using now. And that is called depositioning. So my book has all the formulas, all the math, all the strategies, all the tactics. It's framework, it's everything from decades of doing this. And I'll add one thing. I was asked the other day by one of our friends, Randy the news guy, why did I decide to publish this now? And my answer was rage. I see so many posts, so many slide decks and carousels and presentations and videos and about what positioning is and what depositioning is. And you know what? Sorry, everybody's entitled to their opinion, but almost all of them are wrong. And it got into my head that silence is complicity. And I couldn't stay silent any longer. But instead of calling out anyone individually, I decided to take my own advice and deposition the bad information that's out there and put all the right information in a book. So there it is, the depositioning matrix. And it is absolutely jam-packed. This is not a fluff piece. Ooh. And I just spilled a glass of water. I'm a klutz. And it's available at my website. Terry, thank you for putting that up.
Yeah, it's a great thing. And if you come to spring training, you're going to see what Marty and I kind of built with it. So pretty exciting.
We've got something cooked up.
Exactly. All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining us today. We really appreciate it. Contact Elizabeth and I if you got any questions about spring training or anything else for that matter. We do hope you can make it. If you can't make it, get the live stream. I guarantee it's worth the $495. If it's not, I'll give you your money back. But I don't think you'll have that problem. Anyways, join us next week at the same time, 10 a.m. Pacific. And there will be a couple more podcasts or webinars this week also about spring training with some different speakers and different people that are coming. But I think it's going to be well worth your time, energy, and effort to come check out spring training.
Right on.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. I appreciate it.
Terry. Thank you, Clint. Thank you,
guys.
Elizabeth.
We'll talk to you
Thank you,
guys
Mark.
soon. And thanks, everybody. All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.